Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Bree Buonomo. Hi if you're new here, or hey if you've been here before. And today I'm so excited to finally be able to do this video and bring it to you guys because I am going to be writing like V.E. Schwab for the entire day. Now, V.E. Schwab is such a prolific writer. She has gone through struggles and has really made it in the world of fantasy writing today. She's a huge author and has so many different books in middle grade, young adult, and adult fantasy, as well as just has so many adaptations coming out. So she is just a true inspiration and someone that I would like to take inspiration from and take a page out of her book and see how she does her writing process and what helps her get into be as successful as she has been. So V.E. Schwab has written books like The Monsters of Verity duology, The Savage Song, and Our Dark Duet. She's most well known for the Darker Shade of Magic's trilogy, as well as more recently The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. And she has two adaptations coming, one which is on Netflix and is going to be adapted from a vampire short story that she did. And I know that the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy is also being adapted, I think, for TV. So like I said, she's just hugely inspirational and I have been wanting to write like her for quite some time, and now I get to do it. Now, I will say that the reason that I chose to do V.E. Schwab currently is because she recently, and maybe it was a couple months ago now, but in this year, 2021, she had posted a screenshot of her daily schedule that has actually changed from when she had previously talked about her schedule. I know Cavanaugh also did a video on V.E. Schwab, but her daily schedule was actually different, so I'm kind of excited that I'm going to be trying a different version of V.E. Schwab's schedule this time around. And I'll also leave Kate's video down below so that you guys can also check out the differences between both of our styles. Obviously some things are going to stay the same, and I will say that in the Instagram post from V.E. Schwab, she did mention that her schedule is like this currently and had been for a couple months because she was doing TV writing work, and she was doing TV writing work while she was living in Scotland but was on American time. So this is kind of how she ended up focusing all of her energy so that she could do her book writing as well as the TV work. So I thought that was pretty cool as well. So I am going to strive today to do two different projects. One which is a drafting co-written project, and because I'm not a TV writer, I figured I could also do editing my adult fantasy prophecy project later tonight during the time that she would be in her writer's room. So, without further ado, let's just jump into my day writing like V.E. Schwab.
Good morning, everyone. It is 7:30ish, and I've been up for an hour. I woke up at 6:30. So I'm just popping in here to say good morning. This is the official start of the vlog for the writing like V.E. Schwab day. And I'm already starting off poorly because she doesn't wake up till like 9 to 9:30. Like, she said that her alarm goes off at 9 a.m. and then she gets up at 9:30. So I'm a little bit ahead of schedule, but I just cannot sleep. I typically wake up between 6 and 6:30 every day. And even when I don't have an alarm, it makes me get up at that time. My body is just so used to it. So we are starting the day. I think I'm just gonna do a couple of things that like won't fit into my schedule later, so that way like they're out of the way and I can like officially start like write my writing stuff at 9:30 as she normally would. So I'm probably not gonna film too much of that, but I wanted to pop in and just say that like I am awake before her, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stay up all night like she would do, but we'll see. So wish me luck.
Hi again, guys. So it is about 10:20 right now, and as I previously mentioned in my last check-in, that V.E. Schwab pretty much wakes up between 9 and 9:30, and then from what I inferred, she probably gets ready for the day between 9:30 and 10, and at 10 she eats breakfast. So I'm a little bit behind schedule because I kind of got caught up in doing something and forgot what time it was. However, I'm making breakfast now. And while she doesn't really have too much of like a ritual breakfast, I did find a Tumblr post from her from 2018 where she was talking about anxiety and how when she's on the road, like she has a really bad anxiety condition, and trying to like kind of maintain a routine and some semblance of normalcy was important to her. So every time she would go out on the road, she would have the same breakfast every single day, which was toast with peanut butter and bananas. and fun enough. That is one of my favorite breakfasts to have. So that is what I'm going to make for myself right now. And I'm also gonna make my husband some breakfast, and then I'm probably going to just eat quickly and do my tarot card pull of the day. And then at 10:30, the Schwab starts doing some of her book stuff. So we are going to start writing at 10:30 today. And that's kind of where we're at. So I'm gonna go make my breakfast and I'll check in later. So now that breakfast has been consumed, it is finally time to start getting into my book work. So V.E. Schwab typically does her book work from 10:30 in the morning till 12:30. So she does about 2 hours in the morning / early afternoon. So that is what I'm going to attempt to do this morning. Some fun facts, because I always like to include those as well, as my dog comes to join me very loudly. She kind of said that, like, so using her frequently asked questions page on her website, which I will note has not been updated in 7 years. Her bio said that she's like 26 when she wrote this, and she's now 33. So about 7 years this has been the same. But using that for reference, she did say that she is very distracted by sunlight. So when like it's very sunny and warm, she will want to be outside, and I am very much the same. I absolutely adore being outside. I love being under the sun. And today, depending on how it goes, because right now it's starting to get a little bit sunny, it's still kind of early and cool, and there's not really sun in my backyard yet, but depending on how nice it is and depending on how stir crazy I get, I may decide to go write or take a break outside. I have my hammock, I have my iPad I can write on, so we'll see. I also get distracted by blue skies, so maybe I will incorporate some of that later. I also like that she had said in her frequently asked questions that she's not really a plotter or a pantser, but she's a connect the dotser. And I really like that because this makes sense to me because that's how I am too. She basically said that she needs to know about 5 to 10 key plot points to make her story, and then she kind of goes on an adventure from there. And that's how I write as well. I know like what the key things I need in the story are, but the way that I get there kind of comes to me through discovery. So I'm excited because I will be doing 2 different projects today throughout this experiment, but I am going to be doing my co-written book and some writing for that. So because I'm going to be doing that, I will be kind of discovery writing a little bit. So I'm excited to see where that goes. And then the last fun fact, which is also very applicable to my life, is that she noted that what inspires her, aside from having a cup of tea and like a notebook and pen nearby, even if she's not going to use it, like she likes to have that nearby, which I always have as well because I like to jot notes down too. She also said that she pretty much always has art, especially like in her writing nook. Her walls are plastered with like arts and posters and prints and illustrations, and well, I have that in excess in this room. So since this is my writing room, I am going to try to write in here the most, and for a very similar reason, like I'm just very inspired to be like looking around my room and seeing like all the beautiful art and posters that people make based on the books that they love. So I'm excited to bask in this, and honestly, like with the window open and it's kind of like it's a cooler day, it's gonna be in the 70s today, but like right now it's in the 60s, so I'm just gonna take advantage of it and we're gonna write. So on that note, that's kind of some of my fun facts that I found out about V.E. Schwab. I am going to start writing so that I don't become behind in this whole endeavor. So it is 12:30 and I've written for almost 2 hours now, and truthfully I did not want to stop. So I started off with Project Ember today and I started doing chapter 11. So I haven't had too many rework chronicles on my channel in the last month because I've been incredibly busy, but me and my co-writer have pretty much not gotten together to write in the last month, so we've been writing on our own. And in the last update I had on one of my vlogs or videos, I don't even know which one it is. I was basically saying that chapter 11 was going to be a new chapter to like gather some more information, and then 12, 13, and 14 were all going to be the heist chapters. And that didn't end up happening exactly how I pictured it. So chapter 11 is now kind of a scene with our main character Demetria where she is kind of being confronted from something that has really haunted her in her past and kind of made a lot of the decisions for her as an adult. So I pretty much like went off on like her old mentor and one of her old best friends like showed up trying to like get her to come back to their kind of organization because they know that she's going to be involved in something, and they kind of hint that they have information but they won't tell her what it is. So this all plays out, and then like her and her old friend like get into a huge fight over like something that happened. Like the reason she left the Cove, the organization, is because of what happened between them and another person. So they're in a fight right now. So I'm not done with the chapter, even though I've been working on it, but I wrote 2,362 words in that 2 hours or so span. It was probably less. It was probably only like an hour and a half because I was a little bit distracted in the beginning, and I'm still not quite done. Like it's almost ending because they're about to have like they're in the midst of their blowout right now, and then they're gonna kind of fizzle out, and they're not gonna quite make amends yet. So that's something that's gonna probably come back, but it's what like is going to push her to keep going. Like I want to distance myself. I don't want anything to do with them, and I'm going to show them that I can manage on my own. And I'm happy that I did this because, as I mentioned, this wasn't going to be how the chapter was going, but it worked so well, and I needed to write it. So that was good. So now we're bumping everything because now chapter 12 is going to be the initial chapter that I thought I was going to write now. And then 13, 14, and 15 are going to be the heist, which is good. And I'm over 40,000 words now. So yeah, overall, that was a really good writing session. It was very productive. So now it is 12:30, a little bit past, and V.E. Schwab does a half hour of yoga. So I think I'm going to go outside and do my yoga. I'm going to do that. And then after yoga, she usually does lunch and coffee. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll check in later. Just about 1 o'clock now, and I just finished my yoga. It actually felt really good, and I am glad I did it. So now on V.E. Schwab's agenda is from 1 to 2, she pretty much eats lunch and has coffee. So with me, I did have coffee this morning, and I know it's probably not exactly how she does it, but I'm usually only like a 1 cup of coffee per day person. And occasionally I might have some tea, and I know that she's a big tea drinker as well. So I'm probably not going to have any caffeine yet because I think it's going to be a little bit too much for me, and I might need a little bit more of a boost later. And to be honest, I'm not that hungry right now either. Having breakfast a little bit later in the day at 10 usually means that I'm going to skew later to have lunch. But what I think I'm going to do is, because like I can be munchy, I think, so I'm going to have some chips and guac, and I think I'm going to watch a YouTube video as a lunch, and then probably before the 2 o'clock hour, I might just do some dishes as well. I'm just going to take this hour for myself and for whatever I need because I'm not super hungry. So we'll see what I get done. We are going to take our lunch break, and then from 2 to 2:30, we're going to go take a walk and listen to our audiobook. So I'll check in later. is about 2:30 right now, a little bit after because I'm checking in a couple minutes late. But I just went for a walk, my half-hour walk while listening to my audiobook, as V.E. Schwab typically does at this time. And I'm listening to Getting the Ninth. I'm trying to finish it. I only have a few hours left in the audiobook, but I kind of get lost a lot. I think sometimes the book has not captured my interest, so I was really trying to pay attention and figure out what was going on, and might be a little lost, but it happens. Between 2:30 and 3, V.E. Schwab typically tries to do admin and email checks. And since I don't really have any emails to catch up on, I know I don't have any email communication going on with anyone right now that needs responses. Instead of doing the emails, I'm going to edit a video and upload that to YouTube and get my thumbnail picked out, because I have a video that I want to go up this coming week. The week that I'm filming this, I have a video coming out the following week, and I want to get that out so that it's on time. And then I also need to post a rep pic for Instagram, because I am a representative for Sweet Melissa's Gifts. So I will be posting that picture today as well. And then we're going to get back to writing, because then she typically writes for another 2 hours. So I think I'm going to go lay out in my hammock while I edit my video, because I do all my editing on my phone. And then we're going to come back in and write. And I'm excited because, as I mentioned before, I left off in a really good spot. So I can definitely finish this chapter and get into the next chapter when I come back, and I'm feeling ready to go.
Another small mini update. It is 3:50, almost 4 o'clock. And my admin, because of my video, it took me almost an hour to edit. So I didn't actually start writing, and then also because I didn't eat lunch, and then my husband started getting hungry. We moved our dinner, our late lunch / dinner, to now. So I'm currently in my dining room watching a YouTube video and eating, but I should be just very clear that this is not necessarily her routine. But since I already kind of messed it up by not being hungry at her lunchtime, I just decided to go mess it up. But I am really excited. I was gonna try to eat at my desk and write, but my desk is just not big enough to do that. I don't have anywhere comfortably to put my food, and I also almost spilled it all over my floor because I went to bump my mouse and almost knocked the entire thing over. So trying to avoid that, I just decided I'm coming up into my dining room. I eat pretty quickly, so by 4 o'clock, like I said, it's 3:50 now, by 4 o'clock I should be down, and I'll definitely get my hour, if not 2 hours of writing in, and then we're just gonna we just kind of changed the order. So I ate first and then write versus writing up to dinner time. So yeah, that's my update. But I am excited. I was reading through it, like I said, for a couple of minutes, and I just really love the chapter that I had in here. So I'm excited to finish it.
It is 5 p.m. and I'm finally on time with things. So my update is that I did officially, in the last hour that I wrote, I have completed my chapter 11, which was a lot of emotional turmoil for my main character. As I said, there was kind of a person that came back from her past, and they had a fight, but during that fight he kind of said something to her, my main character, that changes how she saw a past event, and that will come back later. And oh yeah, it's just some good stuff. I'm excited. I hope, I know that this story is going to be pitched as a standalone for the agent, but I hope that it would have enough potential to at least be a duology, because I think it's just good enough to be we can get through most of the stuff that happens in this novel, but if we got a second book, we can wrap everything up very nicely. So I hope that happens one day for us. But I am really proud of the chapter. I did pull a little bit of past stuff that we had and really worked it into what it could mean for this world. And I kind of liked it because initially we had this one character that was kind of the leader of this pact of thieves, and we kind of had her witty and one of those older figures, like an old wise mentor kind of figure, where they were witty and fun and looking out for Demetria, our main character. But this version of it, we did change that so that she's also kind of shady and I love it. And I love that that dynamic has now changed, and it's something that like our main character is working against, as well as like the main plot of this book. So overall, that's my little ramble. I'm really excited. So it is 5 o'clock, and at this point in time, V.E. Schwab does cycling for about 30 minutes. Now, I do not have a seated stationary bike, and I do have a bike, but the tires are deflated. I just checked before, so I cannot go for a bike ride either. What I think I'm gonna do to kind of still keep with this like movement break is I'm going to walk on the treadmill for a half hour, and I'm either going to watch a YouTube video or I'm going to listen to my audiobook. I don't know which one I feel like, and I might check to see if like anyone posted a video today on YouTube, and if not, then I'm just going to like listen to my audiobook. I think I'm gonna do that for a half hour, and then after she does her cycling, she does dinner, and because I already ate, I think I'm just gonna come back and do more writing at that point. So that's my update. So far, this has been a really productive day, and I'm really liking her schedule. I'm just really enjoying it. And if I was like a full-time writer, this would be beneficial, especially if I was working on multiple projects, because like the chunks that she writes in, I could be doing different projects during that time. Today I've just so far focused on my co-written project, but later tonight I would like to start editing my prophecy project. Hi friends, so I did my movement break and I'm back, and I'm a little bit refreshed now, and it is actually 6:30. So I did the movement break, but I kind of didn't do the writing. I just don't know, like once I started kind of getting away from the writing and I've been on the schedule, I was just kind of like, oh gosh, I think I might need a break. So I haven't done anything, but I am about to have dinner with my husband. So we are gonna do lasagna, and like I said, it's 6:30 now, so we're gonna do lasagna, and I know I'm gonna be starting a little bit later to get back into writing, but I think going to sit with him while he's watching a streamer upstairs. I think I'm going to edit Prophecy Project. That way I'm still with my partner, even if we're doing separate things. That's just sometimes like I like doing that. I don't get to do it too often, and again, I know that to my knowledge, I don't know if V.E. Schwab has a partner, and this schedule may not include them, or it may, depending on the day. I know that she said this is just her general schedule back in January, but I'm going to try to tweak it to fit my life still, and that's what I'm going to do. So I am going to grab my wonderful thing. I am on chapter 7, so I have been making notes, but I'm going to see how much I can get done tonight, because from 6:30 to 1 a.m. V.E. Schwab does her writer's room. And as I mentioned already, I'm not writing a TV show with a group of people, but I am editing a book, and that's a good chunk of time to edit. So we're gonna see how far I can get, and to be honest, I don't think I'm going to be able to stay up till 2, because she stops at 1 and then she gets ready for bed and goes to bed at 2. I don't think I can conceivably do that. I'm gonna see how late I can stay up, but I'm already tired and yawning, so I'm gonna guess that by the time that I actually get to like my 9 o'clock hour, 10 o'clock, I'm gonna be ready for bed. So I will be okay with that though. I've been so productive, and if I could even just get a good chunk, like a good couple chapters of notes written in my read through, I will be happy with the progress that I've made. And then we'll see. I might not have any more action shots. I may just come back tomorrow and have a recap. We'll just kind of see where my mood is and how I'm feeling, and how long my husband ends up staying upstairs with me. So anywho, I'm going to stop rambling because I know this video is going to get long, but yeah, I'm going to go start reading and eat dinner. Hi guys. So it is a little after 8 p.m. now, and I think I have to call this experiment for the day. So I ended up editing 2 chapters, like before and a little after I ate dinner, and obviously I have not gotten very far. I've never been in a writer's room, obviously, and I believe though that they're like a team collaborative effort, so you have a lot of people in them. I could definitely see how like 6.5 hours like would be like profitable for people like kind of working and doing that. I mean, essentially like that's like a full work day. So it really does make sense like how she would, like why it's so long, and like how she's adjusted her schedule to do the writing room. But VE Schwab is like a goddess, I think, because I don't understand how she does it. And like, I edited for 2 hours and I'm tired. I didn't make as much progress as I thought, and I can't concentrate. I thought I was going to be a lot more productive, but my interest is starting to wane. And I do think that like, if I had someone else that was like in the room with me, or like if I was doing like sprints with someone, or like just kind of like, I don't want to do like sprints because I don't want to time myself, but I wish that like I had companionship. That like if I was just editing and marking up notes and someone was in the room with me, or like on a chat with me, and like every now and then we can spew off things to each other, I think that would be beneficial. But as it is just me, and I'm getting tired. I unfortunately, unlike VE Schwab, woke up at 6:30 today and not between 9 and 9:30. And it's just been a long day. So that's definitely my own fault, but that's just how my body happened. I've actually stayed up quite, like leading up to this project, I was staying up, I think 2 nights, I was up till midnight. And like I could probably do it, but my focus would not stay the same. So I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna like edit anymore, but to be honest, I'm gonna be real. My editing brain is not there right now, and I don't think I'm gonna get much more work done, if I'm going to get any more work done. But either way, I still think this was a win as far as the experiment goes. I think if I actually did wake up like later in the morning, and I had nothing else going on in my life, like I didn't have my partner around, or I didn't have like other obligations, I think it could be really doable for me. But even though I cleared my schedule, it still, things came up, or like things that I want to do, because that's just like when like the 6-hour mark, like as a job, like when I'm in my job focus, like, yeah, I can do it that long. But also I think because it's like reversed for me, like I am a morning worker, like in my real job. So this is not talking about writing. This is just like how my own brain works. Like I work in the morning and I go in pretty early. I start at 7:30 and I leave at 3:30 because I don't want to be there all day, and I'm more productive in the morning hours. So the later that the day gets, the less productive I feel because I'm done with it. So taking that into my own account with how VE Schwab does it, how like her work day, even though she is productive and does a lot of things during the day with this schedule and routine, her real work day starts at 6:30 and she goes until 1 a.m. And that is not really conducive to me, because even though I can be productive at night, I'm much more productive in like the morning and early afternoon. Like I've definitely, like through these experiments and like through finding out how I am, that I understand that of myself. So I knew it was going to be a challenge trying to do VE Schwab's whole schedule, especially as it got to the night. But I thought my motivation was going to carry me a bit longer. But as it turns out, it did not. It just did not line up. So what do I have to say? I do think this was a productive routine, and other than working later, like if I could have flopped it and like done like all of my like editing in the morning, and then I had the night free, or the night to go to bed early, I think that would have been better for me. But overall, VE Schwab's routine that she had posted in January is pretty solid. I like trying to get work done in between things while keeping active and taking movement breaks, and obviously making sure that she eats and that kind of stuff. So I am very pleased with it. A couple other things that I didn't like get to do, but some fun facts, is this is again taken from her frequently asked questions, and this again was like 7 years ago, but she did say back then that her favorite show was Doctor Who at the time, and that her favorite movie ever was The Princess Bride. And I did think that maybe I would try to watch one of those if I did get into a rut, but I also don't feel like watching either of them. I've never watched Doctor Who, and I do like The Princess Bride, but I'm just not in the mood for it. So to be honest, I think I might just take the rest of the night and I might just read for fun, or I might play video games, because that is kind of more my speed for like when my night ends. So even though it's not Victoria Schwab's style, that is a Bree style. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think down below. How did you like this experiment? Would this be someone's routine that you think would jive with you and your ways of writing? Let me know all that good stuff. And let me know down below if there's any authors' writing routines that you would like me to try in the future. I think as I mentioned already, I love writing routines, and I would like to start doing a little bit more of them coming up because I think they would be good ones to be productive as well as give fun content that I like to watch and do. So yeah, let me know if you have any suggestions down below. And until next time, guys, thanks so much for watching. Guys, I'll see you then.